Those with a family member battling cancer know the pain and stress that it can bring. How friends are celebrating one man's road to recovery.
Plus, student protests are occurring at the University of Missouri, why they're happening, and why student athletes are joining in and say that they refuse to play.
Good Monday morning. I'm Tamara DeMonte.
And I'm Eric Stelzer.
And I'm Tara Barrett. Surprise.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Tara.
That's right.
Hey, thanks.
This is exciting.
Yeah, it's fun to be back.
So you used to anchor here.
I did about 4.5 years ago. And then I had my baby girl and went home to farm and stayed home with her. So
Great.
Do you think you can still read the prompter? You think you can still do it?
We'll see. We'll see.
It's like riding a bike.
And since
I hope so.
Since you had your baby girl,
yes,
you've actually had a new addition,
yes,
correct?
I have a son. He'll be 2 in December, so 2 little ones at home.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm lucky I'm awake here.
Getting used to that again is
Yeah,
always interesting.
it's hard.
Well, if you haven't heard already, Tara's going to be joining us today, tomorrow, and also Wednesday.
Yes.
So be sure to tune in, and maybe it's like riding a bicycle. You know, you're at the news desk again. I'm sure. You know
Either
exactly
way,
what
I'm
to
sure
do.
we'll have fun.
Yeah.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All
Nice to
right,
meet you guys.
switching gears weather-wise, it is going to be a chilly start to the day. Temperatures are in the upper 20s to low 30s area-wide. You'll want to make sure you do grab a coat as you're out the door. By this afternoon, our temperatures warm to around 55 degrees. That's actually a couple degrees below average for this time of the year, but still, our winds are light, so it will be comfortable this afternoon. By tonight, another cool one with lows near 35. We do have some rain on the way, and I'll let you know when, coming up on the next Weather on the Ones.
A body was found behind a Champaign building Sunday morning. Police saying that he was a 42-year-old man. He was found on the 40th block of East University Avenue. An autopsy scheduled for later today. A 20-year-old, the victim of the latest Decatur shooting. Police say 20-year-old D'Antoine Jaffro told law enforcement that he was at his girlfriend's house when a man approached his car window and then shot him in the leg. If you have any information regarding the shooting that happened on Thursday at 21 East Emerson Drive, call Crime Stoppers.
A Decatur man told police that he was approached by 2 men who took his phone and his wallet and then ran away. Saturday morning, 24-year-old Marquis Green says that he was on the 1100 block of East Wood Street when the men robbed him at gunpoint. Green says that they were possibly riding in a 4-door Chevy, both in their mid-20s and around 5'10". One weighed around 160 pounds and has tattoos on his hands. The other weighs around 180 and has an afro.
One Springfield family has been enduring all the stress that comes with a family member that's battling cancer. On Sunday afternoon, friends wanted to celebrate Steve Sabo and his road to recovery. WAND's Megan Odell takes us to that event.
Steve Sabo is a husband.
I feel honored to be able to walk down this road with him.
A father.
I told him I want him to be there to walk me down the aisle when I get married. So that was one promise I had him make for me.
And a friend.
Just a great guy. Do anything for anybody.
But since January, Steve's been fighting for his life.
I took him a few days to figure out that I had leukemia, which was quite a shock at first because that's really the last thing I expected.
Diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia meant the father of 2 teenage daughters had to undergo multiple rounds of chemotherapy as well as receive a stem cell transplant to replace all of his bone marrow.
It doesn't do you any good to worry about it or complain about it. It's the cards you're dealt, and you gotta fight and move forward, so that's what I did.
Quitting her job to be by his side, Cindy and Steve spent months in the hospital until finally receiving news that he is now on the road to recovery. But the cost of fighting cancer is now their expensive reality.
And cancer is not a cheap diagnosis to fight.
That's why friends and family gathered Sunday afternoon to not only celebrate the brave battle Steve is fighting, but to lend support in any way they could.
We're looking to get $25,000. Anything over that is awesome. Anything under, anything we make is going to be great.
The love and support of all of our family and friends, it's overwhelming.
In 2 years, doctors will be able to give Steve the final stamp of cancer-free, just one of the many milestones he'll get to meet after putting up his toughest fight yet. Megan Odell, WAND News.
For the first time since the pilot program was signed into law, medical marijuana sales will begin in Illinois today. Thousands of patients have been approved and were issued their ID cards last week. 8 dispensaries, including one in Quincy, are legally authorized to start selling Monday. Patients are required to tell the state which dispensary they'll use before making purchases. The state's shutdown of building projects is being felt most at its colleges and universities. The Associated Press analysis of state records shows that Governor Rauner's order to stop work affected 218 jobs worth more than $700 million. More than $400 million is tied up in 81 projects at various colleges and universities. The projects remain idle because there's no budget agreement.
Donald Trump will be in Springfield today. The GOP presidential hopeful has a campaign event planned at the Prairie Capitol Convention Center. Tickets are free to Trump's 7 o'clock event. Doors open at 5 o'clock tonight.
After several racially charged incidents at the University of Missouri, numerous students' protests have broke out. Dan Shinneman tells us how dozens of football players have joined the protest, saying they won't go on the field until the university president is out of office.
Student protests escalated when at least 30 football players announced they would not take part in team activities until University President Tim Wolf is removed. The head coach tweeted, "We are united behind our players." This protest is one of several that stems from a semester that black students say has been marred by racial incidents on campus. Protesters say groups of white students have repeatedly hurled racial slurs, and recently a swastika was scrawled in feces on a wall of a dorm. The homecoming king was even the target of a slur after he was crowned.
This isn't just me who is going through this. These are students coming from all different backgrounds who endure this.
Black students, who are just 7% of the student body, say the school has failed to respond to the incidents and believe University President Tim Wolf has been inadequate. Last week, one student began a hunger strike and said he would not eat until Wolf is removed, while students began camping out on the lawn of a university plaza.
We are advocating for black students. We are advocating for rights on campus to make this a safer climate.
The president of the university issued a statement saying he was dedicated to ongoing dialogue and promised specific plans in the coming months. Dan Shinneman, WAND News.
The University of Missouri governing body has scheduled a special meeting for this morning at the main campus in Columbia. Planning to fly this Thanksgiving holiday, so are a lot of other people. More on the increase from last year for people expected to fly during Thanksgiving weekend.
And your almanac for today, it is now Monday, November 9th. 57's our average high and 37 your average low. We're already below that this morning, and by this afternoon, high should only be in the middle 50s. Coming up, find out if more seasonable air is on the way, and also when the next chance for some rain will pay us a visit. Hey, welcome back. Time now is 6:11. It's another check of your weather on the ones and temps. Across the lower 48, you see a lot of blues on the screen here. We're starting out a little bit cooler than average in a few areas. In Denver, we're at 33, 31 in Rapid City, KC at 35, Chicagoland 32, and still a bit warmer in Nashville. We're at 50, but we do have some clouds and also a little bit of rain streaming up from the Gulf, so that's why we have warmer temps farther south. Temperatures back home, though, we're at 30 in Springfield, Jacksonville, 31 in Decatur, Lincoln, and Mattoon. Looks like 32 in Champaign and Paris and Danville. The cool spots in the upper 20s this morning, but fortunately our wind speeds are pretty light at about 5 miles per hour, if not calm in a lot of locations. And if those wind speeds were a little bit higher, we'd be dealing with wind chill values today in the lower 20s, maybe even upper teens. But fortunately, we're not dealing with that. It's still cold, so make sure you do bundle up as you're out the door. Live Doppler 30 max, pretty quiet. We're starting to see a faint glow of some sunshine on the horizon there in Mattoon on your Sarah Bush Lincoln Weather Bug Network. Notice also no clouds to talk about. It is going to be a beautiful day. Should be wall-to-wall sunshine throughout the morning, afternoon, and into the evening. So your Peerless Precision Cast, as we put this into motion, keeps us mostly sunny. We might see a couple areas east of I-57 with a couple clouds thanks to that Gulf moisture, but other than that, the rest of us stay sunny through the day. Tomorrow, same setup. We'll see lots of sun through the day, but once we get into the overnight hours, Tuesday into Wednesday, here comes some clouds, and we are going to have a pretty strong system approaching. It's going to be sitting over parts of the Central Plains on Wednesday. We'll start out with just a few showers by the afternoon, but some of those showers and thunderstorms will have the potential to be strong to severe. We could see gusty winds, some pretty large hail, and we can't rule out the chance for isolated tornadoes. In fact, there's a slight to enhanced risk for severe weather here in central Illinois. We'll talk about it more coming up on the next Weather on the Ones, but until then, it does look like we will see lots of sun. So this morning, temps off to the 30s. And then by this afternoon, we warm to around 55 degrees. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by St. Mary's Hospital. 60 tomorrow, 64 on Veterans Day with that chance for those thunderstorms. And then after that, we'll clear out for the remainder of the week with cooler air on Friday. We'll end with highs in the upper 40s.
Looks good. Thanks, Kevin. Planning to travel during the Thanksgiving holiday, then you'll probably be seeing a lot more people. An industry group called Airlines for America estimates 25.3 million people are expected to take flight during the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. That is a 3% increase from last year. 4 balloons were unveiled yesterday during the annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. The new balloons were inflated and flown outside for the very first time. The 4 new characters are Angry Birds Red, Dino, Ice Age's Scrat, and Ronald McDonald. It was also practice for the hundreds of handlers who will be directing those balloons. The Fighting Illini Marching Band will also be taking place at the Thanksgiving Parade. The Marching Illini are the nation's oldest collegiate marching band and will perform for 2.5 miles during the parade. To watch the parade, you can tune in live to NBC. All the fun starts at 9 a.m.
Agribusiness Today on WAND is brought to you by Baum Chevrolet.
Hello again, everyone. Now, when I heard Tara Barrett was coming back to help host or anchor this week, I said, I've got to have her on because you had a decision in your life about 4.5 years ago that was something that you hadn't really thought about. It was going back to the farm. Tell us about that decision when you had that opportunity, because it's a unique opportunity, one that not many young people have.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I grew up on a farm my entire life, but it wasn't anything I ever thought about it. I had an older brother that farmed with my dad, so I kind of did my own thing here and loved what I did. But my brother passed away, as you know, and then short time later I had my first baby and my dad needed help, so an opportunity arose and I decided it was the best fit for my life at the time.
Well, it's a family decision to come back, because there's a lot of dynamics there, and it's working with a parent. Now, all of a sudden, it's not father-daughter. There's some challenges there with that, because you're all working towards a common goal.
It is, yeah. Having your dad go from just being your dad to now your boss. Oh, there's my dad and me, and when I had Callie, that was my first year farming. But yeah, it's a different dynamic, and but you know, we're adjusting, and I love working and seeing my parents every day.
That's the reward, is really you're with them every day, and you cannot take that away. I had that same opportunity myself. And but then there's women in agriculture, a misconception. We talked about that a little bit. Really, there's nothing that a woman can't do on the farm today. They're in managerial positions, they're active in commodity organizations, and now you're actually operating on running the tractors and doing things. Do you get a lot of some comments about that?
Sometimes. I mean, there's definitely women in ag in my area, research and on the farm and different things like that. So it's not uncommon, but yeah, sometimes when I say, oh, I farm now, people say, you do? Like you actually are in a tractor? I'm like, yep, I'm really in a tractor.
What is your favorite part of the farm that you like doing?
I love harvest time.
Yes.
Harvest time's the best. Long hours and everything, but it's fun and exciting to, you know, the time has come and you got to get everything out of the field. And
now Tara was telling me that you and your dad tied into repairing a tractor. I mean, it's you're always learning.
Yeah. Now that harvest is over, of course, we're just doing maintenance and things. And I worked on a tractor with him this past week and learned a lot. Yeah, I'm always learning new things I didn't think I could do.
At some point in time, your dad will maybe want to step back and allow you to start doing some. What do you see as the future?
Our plan is to hopefully keep it in the family. I mean, that's what we would like. My son loves tractors, loves farming, and it came from my dad's dad, so we'd just like to continue the tradition, like any farmer probably does.
I love this story, and I can safely say that Central Illinois is glad to see you back on here with your smiling face again. Tara,
thank you. It's good to be back.
Tara, thank you so much. Thanks. This is Agribusiness Today. I'm David Brown.
Welcome back. Time now is getting close to 6:21. It's another check of your weather on the ones and a beautiful glow of a sunrise on the eastern horizon. This is a look over Lake Decatur, also the South Shores area. And our official sunrise not until 6:33, so we're just about 10 to 15 minutes away. And once we do see it, it will be wall-to-wall sunshine. As you can tell, not a whole lot of cloud cover out there, so your early morning commute to work or school should go off without any problems. In fact, the same story for this afternoon, but our temperatures will be a couple degrees warmer. This morning, temps near 33 degrees. Might have a little bit of frost on your cars as you wake up and head out the door, so turn on the defroster for just a couple minutes before you head out, or you might even need to start scraping it off. Hard to believe that's that time of the year that we're starting to get to the frosty season, and you wake up and just a tiny little coat of ice on your windshields. But as we head into the afternoon, we do have lots of sun. 50 degrees at lunchtime, 54 at 4 o'clock, and then by 10 o'clock this evening, we're back to around 41 degrees. Satellite radar imagery, while most of us are quiet, there's a little rain farther to the southeast, and then our next system is still continuing to deepen over parts of the Pacific Northwest. This area of low pressure is going to travel over the northern Rockies, and as it intensifies, it's going to bring us that chance for some strong to severe thunderstorms, and this threat is going to be for Wednesday. So for today and tomorrow, things look great. We'll see lots of sunshine. Same story for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday. It's Wednesday that is going to be the day that's very active. So anywhere in this orange color, we're going to have an enhanced risk for severe weather. Anywhere in yellow, it's going to be a slight risk. And as you can tell, it encompasses the entire WAND 17 viewing area, so anything from gusty winds to large hail, and we can't rule out the chance for isolated tornadoes. Yes, it is November, but as long as the conditions are there, it is going to be possible to see severe weather midweek. 55 degrees, though, today. Winds will continue pretty light out of the southeast. By tonight, we'll see overnight lows in the middle 30s, and your 7-day forecast brought to you by St. Mary's Hospital. High temperatures tomorrow near 60. Will be in the middle 60s on Veterans Day with that chance for those showers and thunderstorms. Then Thursday and Friday, we clear back out. It is going to be breezy, but high temperatures Friday as we end the week, upper 40s with overnight lows near freezing.
Now, are you telling me that I should have an ice scraper in my car right now?
You should.
Probably not a bad idea.
Mine broke last year. Trying to really get it off the front, so I have to get a new one. Yeah, it could get pretty thick.
Or you could just turn your car on and let it run for like 5 minutes. I mean, that's the easy way. Plus, then when you get back in, it's nice and warm.
Toasty,
that's true, too. All good points. Yeah, I need some help, you guys. You got to give me some pointers.
Well, I think we should just... Okay, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I give you pointers, but I can't come over there and scrape it off.
Why not?
I think that's what she was getting
$5, I'll do it.
I'll call you at 3:30 in the morning. All right, we'll be right back.
Are you just watching TV right now? Because a recent survey would say no. TiVo did a survey finding 99% of TV viewers multitask, and a majority of multitasking activities involved a second screen. 53% say they use a device every time or almost every time they watch TV. Smartphones were the top device, followed by laptops, then tablets.
You can always connect with us. Follow us on Twitter at WAND TV News, on Facebook, WAND TV News Center 17, and on Pinterest. Just click on the icon at WANDTV.com.
Happy holidays and a joyful New Year, Central Illinois, from all of us at B&W Paving.
Illinois' best source for news and weather. WAND News Today.
Half a dozen World War II vets will forever be remembered in Douglas County. How their family name will live on.
And a project to feed families during Thanksgiving. All the work that goes into the Judy Mason Thanksgiving Basket Project.
Good morning, everyone. Eric Stelzer here.
And I'm Tamara DeMonte.
And I'm Tara Barrett.
Nice and I'm Kevin Cher. I was waiting.
Hey, Kevin.
Don't forget about me.
The superstars right here.
Tara. No, everybody's paying attention to Tara.
Oh, are they?
Of course. How does it feel to be back?
Great. I'm surprisingly awake. Last night, I'll be honest, when I set my alarm for 3 o'clock in the morning,
right?
I was like, tear. Oh my God. But I woke up feeling good. I, of course, have an hour drive, so I have plenty of time to wake up.
Talk to us in about 3 hours.
Yeah, you're
feeling I know. No, talk to me like tomorrow. And I was like, maybe this wasn't so fun. No, I'm having a good time.
Cool.
It's glad to be back.
Good to have
awesome.
You back.
Well, weather-wise, we're off to a sunny start today. Also, temperatures are on the chilly side. You'll want to make sure you grab a jacket as you're out the door. Looks like most of the rain that we have across the area is farther south and east over parts of Kentucky, also Tennessee. But we are going to stay dry today, and we are going to see wall-to-wall sunshine. So your bus stop forecast, 33 degrees at 7 o'clock. Lunchtime 50, and we'll be at 55 for your high this afternoon. Coming up, though, we do have the potential for some strong to severe thunderstorms. We'll talk more about that coming up in just a bit.
A community came together to honor a family before Veterans Day arrives. WAND's Ashley Avaya was in Arcola as Highway 133 became Gear Family Memorial Highway.
7 brothers, all veterans of World War II, now honored in a special way. Was standing room only on Sunday afternoon as Highway 133 was renamed the Gear Brother Memorial Highway. This throughout Douglas County.
One of those proud moments, proud things as far as our family goes.
Proud and humbled, that was the overall reaction of the Gear family.
It makes me feel very proud of my father and the whole family as far as what they've done for the country and what they've kind of sacrificed. And
sacrifices of those like from Dan, who never got to meet his father.
My father was the one who was killed in the war, so I never knew him. He actually was shipped out of New York Harbor on the day I was born.
But Bobby's brothers, John, George, Donnie, Russell, Harry, and Jim, survived the war.
Oh, I wish they were here to see this. I think it's a wonderful tribute.
Elsie Gear was the only surviving wife of one of the brothers. Her husband, the 3rd youngest of his 16 siblings.
I had no idea when I married into this family that I would be doing this 20, 30, 40 years later.
It was a high turnout at the event, which also surprised the family, excited that their fathers and grandfathers were honored in such a permanent way. Ashley Avaya, WAND News.
People in the community got an up-and-close look at the Memorial Medical Center over the weekend. They have a new 115,000 square foot patient care tower, and patients were able to see it before it opens. The 3-story tower has 114 private rooms for cardiology, orthopedic, and intermediate care patients. There are no nursing stations, and caregivers will each be given a patient's private room. The rooms also provide family support components. The tower will open in mid-November.
For 17 years, the Judy Mason Thanksgiving Basket Project has given families in Macon County the opportunity to be together during the holidays. WAND's Megan Odell shows us the hustle and bustle that goes into preparing those thousands of boxes.
From just a few baskets to now a few thousand boxes. Chris Gregory remembers the humble beginnings to the Judy Mason Thanksgiving Basket Project.
We're doing this in Judy Mason's garage when it first started. It was just 8 baskets, and it was a bunch of families over at Moundford.
They just filled them with food, including, a meat like a ham or a turkey, and then the week of Thanksgiving, they handed them out to the families. And so 17 years later, we are at 4,000 boxes.
Outgrowing the garage and taking up space in a 25,000 square foot storage facility, the project may have grown in size and involvement, but it's never lost the original goal.
Each box feeds about a family of 5, so we have calculated that covers about 20,000 people in Macon County receiving food from us for Thanksgiving.
Giving families the chance to gather for a warm meal around the holidays.
There are families out there that don't get a good meal for Thanksgiving, and this helps us know that they're getting it.
Each box comes complete with all the necessary ingredients so that every family can not only have a feast, but a Thanksgiving full of hope.
Well, 18 to 25 food items, and we also place a 4-pound ham with each box.
The first packing day of 3 more meant filling boxes with the usual crowd pleasers like noodles, potatoes, and stuffing.
Some people, they can't have this type of meal, and for other people to be able to have it, just knowing that some people can't, I think it'll make them feel good.
For us, it's a Thanksgiving that we get to have, that we know we're helping people eat.
Boxing up hope for the holidays. Megan Odell, WAND News.
All right, so how exciting is this? I'm here with Tara Barrett. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing good.
We just met this morning.
I know, for the very first time.
Yeah.
So you used to be in my position.
Yeah.
A long time ago, and actually, what, five years ago?
Almost 5 years ago, or 4.5, yeah.
So how has it changed since you've been here before? You had the old set was here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I walked in and I wasn't even sure how to get in here because everything's different. But yeah, I mean, I like it. You guys stand now. We sat for 2 hours, but I think it keeps your energy going. You guys walk around and move around.
Newsroom look different to you, or is that kind of the same thing too?
Newsroom's the same, yeah. But,
very cool. So what have you been up to? What have you been doing?
Well, we talked about farming earlier.
Right.
So I farm now with my dad, and then I also have 2 kids. My little girl is who I had when I left, so she's been on the news. She is 4, and she is at school. So she'll be going to school here this morning. And then my son will be 2 in December.
Cool. So one of the transitions I've always been curious about is leaving the business, working the business. You're always working on the holidays, and you don't get to see the kids and stuff like that. How is that? We get to see your family. I'm sure it helps out a little bit.
How is that? Yeah, it's nice to get to see my family and not work holidays. No, it's great. People always ask me if I miss this, and I do. Like, this is fun to be here.
You're reading like a pro today.
Wow,
you're doing good.
Thanks. Try. I've been practicing at home. No, I miss it a little bit, but you know, I live an hour away, and so my lifestyle now is great. I get to stay home with my kids when I'm not busy. But yeah, I think I went from one extreme to another, wearing a suit every day to now I'm in jeans and a sweatshirt and work boots.
Cool.
And
are you from the area here? Or?
I am, yeah. So I live where I have grown up, and so.
Cool. Well, very nice. WAND still your favorite station?
Of course. Wouldn't go anywhere else for my news. Watch you every morning.
Cool.
Here.
We'll see you back here tomorrow, and we'll talk about what's coming up real quick. Budget problems in the state, they are causing an impact on jobs. How many jobs have been affected already, and which industries are feeling it worse? That's coming up in a little bit. And here's a look at what's coming up this morning on WAND.
And temperatures right now, we are starting out on the cool side, low 30s to upper 20s here across the area. It's going to be below average today. We'll talk more about those cooler temps and also a chance for some strong storms after the break. Welcome back. Time now is 6:41. It is Monday morning. Hopefully you enjoyed your weekend, and our check of your weather on the ones. Looking at 31 in Decatur. We're at 30 in Springfield, 32 in Champaign. These temperatures are on the cool side, but we are sunny across the area, and our skycast showing temperatures as we head into the afternoon, warming into the middle 50s. We'll be at 55 in Lincoln, 55 in Decatur, Springfield at about 56 degrees, as well as Jacksonville, Champaign, 54 in Danville. And those temps are just about 2, maybe 3 degrees below average for this time of the year. Today is going to be very seasonable. After all, it is November, but our current wind speeds outside are at about 5 miles per hour, if not calm, in a lot of areas. And this is a good thing. If our winds would be at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, our air temperatures would actually feel more like 20 degrees, if not upper teens. So because we do have light winds, don't really have to factor in a wind chill value early this morning. Live Doppler 30 Max is all quiet. Lots of sunshine out there, and that's what we have showing up on your Sarah Bush Lincoln WeatherBug Network. Notice not a whole lot of cloud cover in Mattoon either. That's where most of us are waking up with, just wall-to-wall sunshine, and that's what we'll see throughout a good chunk of the day. We're at 32, pardon me, in Chicagoland, 27 in Madison, Wisconsin, 28 in St. Louis, Missouri. And as you can tell, over most of the plains, we are quiet this morning. High pressure is in control, although that high pressure system is drawing away from us to the east. We have a little bit of Gulf moisture streaming up. Some areas later on this evening could see a couple clouds maybe east of I-57, but that'll be about it. So as we put your Peerless Precision Cast into motion, notice how we stay quiet all day long here on Monday into the afternoon tomorrow. We are going to see a mostly sunny sky, but then things get tricky as we head into Wednesday. Our next system continues to deepen, move across the plains, and by Wednesday we'll have a few showers in the morning. By the afternoon into the evening especially, that's when we could see some strong to severe thunderstorms moving in. Granted, it is November, but as long as the right conditions are there, which we'll have on Wednesday, we will have an enhanced to slight risk for severe weather here across our part of the state. Anything from gusty winds to large hail, and yes, can't even rule out the chance for isolated tornadoes. So keep it tuned here to WAND 17. If anything changes, we'll let you know. Otherwise, today looks great. We'll be in the 30s early on. By this afternoon, 55 for your high. And your 7-day forecast brought to you by St. Mary's Hospital. 60 tomorrow, 64 on Veterans Day. Then the rest of the week looks great with lots of sun and cooler temps.
Any birthday is an excuse for a party, but how about a 240th birthday party? They're planning one at Woody's Bar in Decatur, and WAND's Joe Ostrowski is there, and he joins us live with the details. Joe?
Well, hi, Terry. Yeah, it's the 240th birthday of the U.S. Marine Corps tomorrow on November 10th, and they're going to be celebrating in style here at Woody's. Now, I'm joined by Ron Coventry, and you were telling me that actually a bar is an appropriate place to have this celebration. Tell me about that.
Well, the Marine Corps was born in 1775 at a small bar called Tunn's Tavern, and the first 2 battalions of Marines were recruited from a bar similar to this. That's why we like to have it at Woody's, because this is our representation of Tunn's Tavern.
Warm environment, I imagine.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, if somebody came tomorrow, what could they expect?
Well, we start the celebration off with just some gathering around. Everybody's going to come here and get to know each other, and then we'll have what's called a cake cutting ceremony. Prior to the cake cutting ceremony, we're going to identify the youngest, oldest and the guest of honor Marine and show them our honors for that. After the cake cutting ceremony, we will listen to the Commandant of the Marine Corps speech to the Marines, all the Marines throughout the country. And after that, we have a raffle of Marine Corps items that all the donations from that will be sent to the Special Forces Wounded Warrior Foundation. And that pretty much sums up the ceremonial part of this, and then we just sat around and talk.
And hang out and share some of those connections I imagine you guys have.
Yes, that's exactly what we do.
And that's tomorrow night at 6, right?
Tomorrow night at 6 when it starts. Cake cutting ceremonies at 7:30.
Very good. Well, thank you, Ron, and thank you. Meanwhile, in Decatur, WAND News, I'm Joe Ostrowski.
A body was found behind a Champaign building on Sunday morning. Police say that he was a 42-year-old Hispanic man. He was found on the 40th block of East University Avenue. The cause of his death is unknown, and an autopsy is scheduled for today. If you have any information, call 373-TIPS. A 20-year-old is the victim of the latest Decatur shooting. Police say DeTwan Jeffro told law enforcement that he was at his girlfriend's house when a man approached his car window and then shot him in the leg. He is recovering from his injury, and he tells police he does not know who pulled the trigger. But the suspect is described as a man around 6 feet tall, 180 pounds, wearing all black. If you have any information regarding the shooting that happened on Thursday at 21 East Emerson Drive, be sure to call Crime Stoppers.
The Attorney General's office is claiming substantial danger at the vacant Pillsbury Mills Springfield site. Owners face a $500 a day penalty for not protecting outsiders from asbestos on the site. The Sangamon County Circuit Judge held the owners and Joey Chernins of Midwest Demolition in civil contempt for failing to hire a company to clean up the asbestos to secure the property from outsiders. The status hearing is set for December 7th. For the first time since the pilot program was signed into law, medical marijuana sales will begin in the state today. Over 3,000 patients have been approved and were issued their ID cards last week. 8 dispensaries, it includes one in Quincy, they are legally authorized to start selling on Monday. Patients are required to tell the state which dispensary they'll use before making those purchases.
Donald Trump will be in Springfield today. The GOP presidential hopeful has a campaign event planned at the Prairie Capitol Convention Center. Tickets are free to Trump's 7 o'clock event. Doors open at 5 o'clock tonight. The state shutdown of building projects is being felt most at its colleges and universities. An Associated Press analysis of state records shows Governor Rauner's order to stop work affected 218 jobs worth $707 million. More than $400 million is tied up in 81 projects at various colleges and universities. The projects remain idle because there is no budget agreement. And that is a wrap-up of today's top stories. Kevin will have a final check of your weather forecast right after the break. Stay with us.
Weather on the Ones on WAND is brought to you by Dawson and Wyckoff.
Dawson and Wyckoff. Affordable options for every family and always the best service.
Your Poe Cadillac Buick GMC of Forsyth Tower Cam here at 6:51. It's another check of your weather on the Ones. And it is a beautiful day out there. We do have a lot of sunshine now that we've officially seen the sunrise, and this is what we're going to see throughout most of the day. Maybe a couple clouds over east central Illinois, but your hour-by-hour forecast is showing wall-to-wall sun. We're starting out in the 30s, though. We are off to a chilly start. Make sure to grab the winter gear out the door, the hat, the gloves, maybe even a coat. And once we get into the afternoon, it looks like our temps do warm back into the 50s. Area-wide, we're at 28 in St. Louis, 32 in Chicagoland, out west 35 in Casey and Wichita, Kansas at 40 degrees. Our satellite radar imagery is quiet across the plains. We do have some rain to the south and also to the east, but that should stay away from us. However, there is that threat for some severe weather as we head into the middle of the week on Wednesday. Today looks nice, tomorrow looks nice, but Wednesday things are going to get a little rocky. We're going to have this upper level trough really digging in across the nation's midsection, so much cooler air filtering in out to the west. We also have this area of low pressure which is going to continue to deepen, and we will see the threat of severe weather in the form of gusty winds, some large hail, and also some tornadoes anywhere in this green color, especially for areas a little bit farther south. That's where the severe weather threat is going to be, mainly Missouri, Illinois, also into Arkansas. more of an enhanced risk for severe weather. So we'll keep you tuned over the next 48 hours. Just make sure you keep it on WAND 17. Also check out our website, WANDTV.com/weather. We'll have a lot of updates there as well. 55 degrees this afternoon. By tonight, we'll see overnight lows in the middle 30s. It's going to be another starry evening, which means it's going to be clear. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by St. Mary's Hospital. 60 tomorrow, 64 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday look nice. We're going to see a mostly sunny sky. It will be breezy, though, as we end the week. And then once we head into the weekend, still looking mostly sunny with seasonal temps in the upper 50s.
Put your coat on this morning.
No.
Yes, it was, yeah.
It was cold.
But I was just talking to Tamara. She said she was from California. My sister-in-law's from California, and they just recently moved here about a year ago, and she's scared to death of storms. He said there was going to be a possibility of storms Wednesday. Is that...
I love a good storm.
Do you?
I'm not too sure about the shoveling of snow that's coming up, but I do love like a good thunderstorm and downpour. I love that kind of weather. So
well, good thunderstorms are nice.
Yeah.
Bad thunderstorms.
They can
and it can get scary, you know.
They
That's
can.
what she gets scared even when it rains, but you know.
Is it like the noise, the thunder?
Yeah, the wind and the thunder. Yep.
Well, that's what's crazy about Illinois is we kind of see all the seasons, and even though it's November, we can have severe weather, but once we get into springtime, that's when we'll see a lot more of them pop up.
Okay, we'll be ready.
Good luck this winter.
Thank you. We'll be right back.
So you'll be here until, what, Wednesday?
Yes, I'll be here tomorrow morning and Wednesday morning.
So I feel like you did pretty good today. You still got it.
Well, thanks.
Still got it, yeah.
Eric's approval.
Still, I don't know.
2 thumbs up, 3 thumbs up.
No, I've had fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad to come back.
Yes, I think that some viewers are already writing on Facebook that they're happy to have you back. I know we all are too. So
thank you.
It's good, yeah.
It's like having you back home again.
Yeah, and I brought the cold weather with me.
Oh, I know that.
Start your car.
Do you miss that? Do you miss waking up at that hour and walking outside?
I sure do, Kevin.
I
really missed it. Walked out to that cold air, hit my face. I thought, good to be
what
back.
place would I rather be than?
No.
Yeah.
4 in the morning.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Good.
Well, good. We're glad to have you back. And you like the new set?
I do.
Good.
That's good.
We'll see you back here tomorrow.
All right.
All right. Have a good day,
See you
everyone.
guys.
Bye-bye.